Welcome back to the channel. Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's having a good day. Today I'm going to do an update on Volt INU. As you remember from my last video, this is the project that I met a few of the influencers from at the Central Miami last week, and the conference was buzzing about this project. It was definitely the most talked about project at the conference, and it is the project that I am the most bullish on right now in the entire crypto space. There have been some updates since my video on Friday, so without further ado, let's dive right in. So here it is, Volt INU. This is the logo. A little clarification from the last video. This is the old logo, as some of the people in the community pointed out to me. This is the new logo right here, the current logo. And I really like this logo with the lightning bolt. Because I've found in the comment section, a lot of times people want to comment, but they don't really know what to say. They have to think, okay, what do I say? Good video, the price can go up to here, or they try to think of a question. Now people can just raid your comments with a bunch of lightning bolts, like right here, right here, right here. YouTube right there. It's just simple but genius. And then it sort of works because if somebody becomes a fan of Volt INU, then you get volted, and that's with the electricity, the lightning symbol there. It's just simple but perfect. Really liking it. So if you didn't know about this coin beforehand and you see lightning bolts all over Twitter, that is the Volt INU community. Another thing I like to do, so on Twitter, they retweet everyone's videos, all the influencers' videos. A lot of coins don't do this. You would be surprised. This is crucial. If you are running a coin and you want influencers to keep doing videos about the coin, you have to retweet their tweets where they at least post the video. You don't need to retweet all their tweets about the coin, but you need to retweet their video postings like this right here or like that's right there, because it increases the engagement considerably. Example, so this was my video last week on Volt, 387 likes, impressions, 23,000 impressions. This is probably not a lot compared to other influencers that have huge Twitter accounts. I do not have a huge Twitter account. My YouTube account is much bigger, but this is the most impression tweet I've ever made here. The previous high for me was only about 12,000. This, 23,000 impressions. So clearly Volt INU is a huge community and they understand Twitter marketing very well. Let's move on to other clarifications. So I said in the last video the coin had been around for about 7 or 8 months. That's not true. It's been around for 11 months since December 2021, which is interesting because in this channel we've seen a lot of coins that came out February, March of last year and have survived. Some have not survived, but most have survived, even though they're not doing that great. This is different. Bitcoin peaked in November, and it's been pretty much going down every single month since then. So in the 11 months Volt has been around, the whole market has just gone down, but their community has gone up steadily. They only had about 4,000 Twitter followers in 11 months ago when they first came out. Now they're at 116,000. So a lot of times with projects, you just see a ton of followers in the first few months. It's a lot of initial excitement, hoopla, then it dies down. Not the case here. They started kind of small, decent size, and have just grown steadily since then, which is especially impressive in the bear market. Like it's only been bear market since they've been around. I mean, if a bull market comes back around, you can only imagine how high this coin's potential is. More, so their market cap was around 14 million when they were listed 11 months ago. Now it's around 60 million, about a 4.5x. It was at 250 million at its peak. So again, steady growth right there. And they're currently listed on 94 exchanges. So in only 11 months, that's pretty impressive. There's no coin that's ever been listed on 100 exchanges in the first year. So you're probably thinking about, well, what about Bitcoin and Ethereum? Well, there were not 100 different exchanges around when those two coins came out in 2008 and 2014 for Ethereum. So it eliminates a little bit of the competition there, but still, Shiba Inu did not happen with them. Many, Baby Doge, some of the Dogecoin copycat coins, it did not happen with them. So if they can get listed on 6 more exchanges the next 3 weeks, I believe they'll be the first coin ever to be listed on 100 exchanges in the first year. So I went over this last video here, the exchanges they're on: Bittrex, Gate, Uniswap, MEXC, etc. The exchanges they're not on, the big 3, Binance, Coinbase, Crypto.com. They're also not on KuCoin, Huobi, and OKX. OKX I'm a little bit surprised about. OKX usually loves USA retail-heavy coins. That's just the bread and butter, like meme coins or stuff like that. Hex, Pulse Chain, those kinds of coins. So I would expect them to be a little bit more interested in this coin. I bet they probably are interested in KuCoin a little bit too. But Jake Hagan, he said in his video yesterday that I guess that there's a wallet that is attached to Vault, and some people think that this is the wallet that they pay to be on exchanges with. And they noticed in the last few weeks a large transaction, probably in the low six figures, 100, 200, 300 grand, that was made to somebody. So they think this might be a large exchange listing. The rule of thumb when it comes to exchange listings, some of the really smaller exchanges, they actually have to pay tokens to be listed on them. Then the medium-sized exchanges, you have to pay them usually $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. That's what I've heard. The big exchanges, it's low six figures, 100, 200, 300,000. I've never heard of anything in the millions or anything even above $500,000. So if this payment for in the low six figures, we think, was for a first-tier exchange, then that's bullish news right then. And then the way those big exchanges work, they don't give you the specific day they're going to be listed. I've heard sometimes they say it'll be listed in the next 10 days. I've heard some of them say it'll be listed sometime in the next month, sometime in the next 2 months, or they just say, we are going to list you. We're not going to tell you when. They do that to prevent insider trading. So they wouldn't know when this coin is going to be listed. But the fact that that payment made, and it sounds like it was for an even dollar amount, that's bullish right there. More of this coin. So the influencer, it has kind of like a sports feel, even though Vault isn't really, they don't really have any major sports partnerships other than an Argentinian soccer team. A couple of the influencers in the UFC, actually. So if you're a UFC fan, you like that. This guy here, Ian Hennish, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He was at the conference, so I did not meet him. He's a UFC fighter. He's an influencer for this coin here, Vault, and he's a UFC fighter, 14-5 record. It's pretty big time right there. Rodney, who I mentioned I met at the conference, he is also a UFC fighter. He's fit, I think, fought in about 100 different total fights. He still is a UFC fighter, but his YouTube career is going very well. So the UFC, it's kind of being put on the back burner. That bodes very well for Vault. What else? Here's some more influencers here. They're at NASDAQ, doing an interview with them. It's just a short 4 or 5 minute interview. What did they say? They talked about just how impressive it is. The community has really grown at the bear market, as mentioned. They just talked about how dynamic and energetic the community is, and they talked specifically about the payment coin utility mechanism, how unlike a lot of other coins, you actually can pay for goods with Vault INU coin. You would think every coin you can do that. That's not necessarily the case. What else? Also, the team did a Twitter Spaces today. Actually, I joined this. This was not specifically about Vault. This was just about crypto in general. Rodney and Jake Hagan threw it. It was very, I believe I heard that this was their first Twitter Spaces. They've done YouTube Lives. Maybe I heard that correctly, but this was their first Twitter Spaces. This is pretty, 595 people. I recognize a bunch of the people, not even part of the Vault INU community, but, pretty big crypto Twitter people, pretty big followings. So that was cool. So this, I would expect this to only grow in the future. It was good. It was about an hour, not too long. Covered some interesting topics, covered BitBoy, all that stuff. They're going to do that every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So tune in if you're interested. Talk about the teams. A lot of people in the last video were asking me who's the founder, who's the team. Well, we don't really have that information. I guess the founder, the lead dev, is a guy named Voltoshi. He is non-DOXed, meaning we do not know who he is, and he doesn't even have a Twitter page either. But that's what the audits KYCs are for, and as mentioned last video, they are audited by Certec and Solidity, which are the top two auditing firms, and I read through all the audits, so that means even though we don't know Voltoshi's real name, Solidity and Certec do. So if anything goes wrong with the coin, if it's rug pulled, that person will be held accountable by the auditing firms. So that's always good there. You always look for that kind of stuff. The rest of the team, I'm not really sure if there's an organized team structure to this team, but he seems like the main guy sort of running the show, Voltoshi. Partnerships, there's been a few updates. This isn't an update since the last video, but this is kind of cool. I guess that they sponsored a Chainlink SmartCon 2022 conference about 2 months ago in New York in late September, which this was, you wouldn't really think these two projects have similar communities. Here's the website, SmartCon 2022, put on by Chainlink. Here's the Vault sponsorship right here. Chainlink's been around forever. They have been around since 2017. They're an OG in the space. They're in the top 20, ranked number 19. In terms of total market cap, they have stood the test of time. How many of those top 20, top 30 coins have been that way for 5-6 years now? Chainlink's one of the only ones. It's a very academic coin too. A lot of respect. I've been to some of their events in Boston here. Two of them, Chain Link Boston. A lot of university students, graduate students went to these. So this coin just has a lot of respect. So the fact they're partnering with Volt, that bodes pretty well for the project. What else? They've also done some sort of small mom and pop sort of sponsorships. It's cool here. This is a food truck here. Xanath Kitchen partnered with Volt to distribute food, or basically to run their food truck at Dodger Stadium last week. Here's the food truck here. It's plant-based Mexican cuisine. I guess they had the Volt logo right over there, and they were driving through the Dodger Stadium parking lot. That's pretty cool. Always good to support small businesses. I guess they've done a bunch of full bus wrap ads in New York, LA, and Dallas, which again is kind of cool. I've seen a lot of these projects. It's getting kind of overly trendy right now to do the billboard ads. Like anyone can do that. The bus thing, I haven't seen too much of that. So if you're in New York and LA and then you see the lightning bolt symbol, you see the Volt ad on it, that's Volt INU right there. Pretty cool. What else? They also partnered with this company, XL Trip and XL Pay. It's part of the XL sort of, it's one of those kind of hybrid crypto conglomerates. They have a wallet, they have token payment services, you can purchase tokens, there's staking services, all that. So I believe this is a partnership. You can use the wallet to store your Volt INU tokens, and then you can also pay for goods if your coins are in the wallet there. So it's basically their sort of payment coin utility partnership right here. And they also made a partnership with CoinBet recently. CoinBet, what are they? They are a Web3 betting exchange, kind of like a decentralized prediction platform. Exchange, just like a stock exchange, but instead of stocks, they list sporting and gaming events and allow users to trade on these events using cryptocurrency. So I guess like one example of a trade you can make, you could try to bet what the market cap of Volt INU will be at the end of the year, and then see if somebody else on the website will take the other side of the bet. So that is pretty cool right there. So they have a lot of different use cases, Volt INU. That's it for today's video. Hit the like, subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter at bencryptoshow. Drop a comment down below, as you always do, especially for the Volt INU community. That's it for today. I'll be back tomorrow with a new episode. Ben Crypto signing out. Catch you later.